Right, guys, Traversal ENT in the building. We are back with another one, guys. Let's get straight to it. Now, if you ain't done so yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Join the rest of us. Make sure you hit the like, comment, and always subscribe. Um, Andy Ruiz versus Luiz Ortiz. Hmm. Hmm. Now, if you know my channel, guys, you know where I rank Andy Ruiz. And I think he's decent, but I don't think it's anything special. In fact, I believe his most recent showing was a good example of that. You looked at a fighter who was decent, but in my opinion, he's nothing special. He has fast hands and he's offensive minded, but he's fighting a guy who's not very intelligent in Chris Arreola. So obviously he could do what he was doing. If he was fighting a guy that's intelligent, I don't think Andy Ruiz would pose much of a threat. Just look at Joshua. When he fought Joshua the first time, Joshua thought he was going to go in there and blitz him out. Bam, 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 get him out of there. That's what Joshua thought. And that's what Joshua was doing at the start. When he gave Andy Ruiz the combo, knocked him right down, Joshua thought, yeah, another day in the office. Right? So Joshua wasn't really fighting intelligent, was he now? Then he got caught. That was a different fight. In the rematch, Joshua literally decided to box, and Andy could not do a thing. Part of that was due to Andy's weight. He looked like a fat tub of butter. And that's not body shaming, but this guy's a professional athlete who gets paid to be in shape. Coming in looking like a fat tub of butter, it's not on. But the point is, he couldn't do anything with a guy that moved. He could not do anything. And it's not like Joshua was moving at... Joshua was not moving like Erislandi Lara. Joshua wasn't moving at lightning bolt speed. Joshua's a big guy, 6'6", massive guy, over 220 pounds, way over that. You can't catch a guy like that. So yeah, with Chris Arreola, you could look good and your fast hands could look fancy because Chris Arreola was right there for you to touch him, especially in the second half of the fight. But against a guy that's got any type of movement, lateral movement, Andy Ruiz won't be able to do a damn thing. So with that being said, look who you want. King Kong wants to fight Andy Ruiz. King Kong is from the Cuban School of Boxing. Cuban School of Boxing. King Kong has one weakness. Only one. Only one. One weakness. That's it. His only weakness is what? His age. If King Kong was in his prime, a lot of fighters would struggle to beat this guy. I think, apart from Deontay Wilder, who's proven it on 2 occasions, everybody else in the heavyweight boxing would have a very hard time trying to defeat King Kong if he was in his prime. Even Tyson Fury would struggle against a King Kong because King Kong is an elite boxer like Fury is. King Kong comes from a school where they teach you boxing. Cuban School of Boxing, those guys know how to box. They use their feet very well. They understand lateral movement very well. Cuban School of Boxing, they also understand ring generalship very well. Now, guys, understand, you're talking about an individual who's grown up learning how to box in a regime, not in a boxing gym. He's learned how to box in a regime whereby it's box and make something of your life through boxing or end up gutter dirt poor, where you can't feed yourself and your family. So it's not a case of a hobby or you enjoy it or you're thinking about it in a way like, I'm going to use boxing to make money. No, it's almost life or death. It's almost a case of either you learn to box and you make something of yourself, you go and you win the Olympics, you turn into a professional, you make your money that way, or you turn to perhaps crime or drugs, or you got nothing, you got literally nothing. When you grow up in those type of environments and you master your craft, you're a serious contender. Serious contender. People don't fight Cubans thinking, we're just going to go in there and have another day. No. Even if the Cuban doesn't have power, you still have to be on your game because you're fighting a guy who's well schooled in the sport. Cuban School of Boxing, guys. But when you got a guy like Luiz Ortiz, he has the Cuban School of Boxing on him. And he can bang. He's got a serious, was it left hand? I believe it's a southpaw. He's got a left hand with serious power in there. Much more power than Chris Arreola. And he's quite offensive-minded. You're dealing with a dangerous fighter there. Now, your only advantage for Andy Ruiz against a guy like that is the fact that he is most likely in his 40s. Not most likely, I believe he is in his 40s. You're fighting a guy who's a senior, right? But this senior is not a senior to be underestimated. Trust me, he's not. Because I'm predicting that this senior in Luiz Ortiz, King Kong, I think he will knock out Andy Ruiz. Absolutely knock him out. I'll tell you this, see Andy Ruiz's chin. Andy Ruiz is a tough person, right? He can take a shot. Now, he will go down. Andy Ruiz is not the kind of person who takes a shot and doesn't drop. His top body is too heavy for his legs. I mean, I say that. That's not really true. Andy's got leg muscles. He's got enough of it. But the point I'm trying to make is, if Andy takes a good shot, he will go down. He might get up, but he will go down. So that's a 10-8 round straight away to Ortiz. Now, how many 10-8 rounds can Ortiz score against Andy? I think at least 3. At least 3 10-8 rounds. No less than 2. Ortiz will drop Andy multiple times in a fight if they fight. I'm telling you guys, he will. Do you understand that if he drops him just 2 times, Ortiz has got 4 points in the bag straight off the bat? He gets the round. He gets another point. Excuse the interruption. He gets the round. He gets another point for the knockdown. He gets another round and another point for the knockdown. That's a big mountain for Ruiz to have to overcome. A big mountain for Ruiz to have to overcome. Can Andy Ruiz knock out Luiz Ortiz? There's no way that's going to happen. Luiz Ortiz is not going to be in reaching range for Andy to do what he done to Chris Arreola. Luiz Ortiz has got legs even at 40-something. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Luiz Ortiz fights in angles. Andy Ruiz can't deal with angles. If you look at Joshua's second fight with Ruiz, Joshua was moving. Joshua is not at all. Not at all. Yeah? The mover that King Kong is. Not at all. He can try it, but Cuban School of Boxing, moving is the foundation of their boxing style. You understand? Andy Ruiz could not deal with Anthony Joshua when Joshua was moving and fighting circles around him. Andy Ruiz literally couldn't do anything. He was almost begging Joshua to come in and fight him. Like, come in and fight. That stupid thing that fighters say when they can't, when they don't know how to close the ring or close a distance. Very stupid things that fighters say. Come and fight, stop running. It's like, I look at him thinking, are you dumb or something? So, no. If that fight does get made and the odds are good, if they've got Luiz Ortiz losing, I'm going to be laughing. And Traversal ENT, we might even be prepared to put 3,000 to 5,000 pounds on King Kong Ortiz. That's how confident I am about that victory, guys. If the odds are great, I'll get a good payout if they got Andy Ruiz winning. Because to me, Andy Ruiz is an average fighter, but it's nothing special. Fast hands, but nothing special. He's not defensively sound. He's offensively decent, but he's not defensively sound. And I think in his last fight with Arreola, he really showed that. He's a decent fighter, but nothing special. And I stick to my guns, by the way, people, when I say, actually, let me not go there. Traversal ENT, guys, that is me for this video. Not too much to say on the whole thing, but it's an interesting fight. I'd love to see it. Don't bet against King Kong if he goes in there with Andy. Do not bet against King Kong. You'll regret that. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, guys. I'll be back with some more.